And we are back, Gmac and Winnie, coming at you with another edition of the Outlaw Blitz podcast. Big fella, let's get dangerous.
Let's get dangerous. Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I am well. How are you, sir?
I can't lose these sniffles, man. The sinus is still from COVID.
Yeah. Well, and it's been cold the last couple of days, really cold.
Really cold.
So, you don't get a reprieve.
No.
And you're an idiot that wears shorts.
And
So,
flip-flops.
yeah.
Yes. Well, I figure I'm going from the hot house to the hot car, but the hot car wasn't hot this morning.
No, you needed to hot wire it.
Yeah, pretty much. Guys like, oh, battery's new at least, so you should be good.
Well, you'll know when you go to leave here. I mean, it was on once it got started, the alternator takes over. It should have charged the whole way up.
And with the hybrid crap,
Yeah.
it goes back and forth. So
Yeah,
it should be good to go. But we both had the same plan yesterday. We both watched the Iron Claw.
yeah. I thought it was pretty good.
Pretty terrible.
Well,
as far as sad.
They were like the Kennedys, that family.
Yeah, there's a WWE special. If you go on Peacock, it's the rise and fall of WCCW.
Yeah,
their promotion.
Yeah,
I'll probably watch that this afternoon. Yeah, they were cursed, and it seemed like the more the boys bought into it, the worse it became.
Yeah,
like Kevin wouldn't go home because he was afraid he was going to spread it to
his wife and
kid.
Yeah,
that's horrible.
Right, they stayed on that ranch.
Yeah,
they all stayed on that ranch, right?
Yeah, it definitely put Fritz von Erich in a terrible light. Looked like a real asshole.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if the oldest brother, the one that died in Japan,
David,
right? If he would have at the wedding, you could kind of see if that was just something that could have been taken care of, because from that point on, it really got.
Well, yeah, he was like puking blood at the wedding, and he's like, Kevin's.
He thought it was something he got on the road.
Yeah, and then the shit with Carrie was tough to watch.
Yeah, like the night supposed to be your crowning moment, he couldn't come down and gets out on his motorcycle, and then, like all these years later, I never knew he had a. I mean, we've read about it in hindsight now,
right? But
I never knew that dude had a fake leg.
Listen, look at how good, and by the time we saw him like nationally with the Texas tornado, it was on the unfortunate downside of his life and career. But he moved around great. You couldn't.
And he was only like 30-something years old.
Yeah. I want to know what creative liberties were taken with the movie. I think they took a creative liberty with.
They combined two brothers.
Well, with Carrie's suicide, it was a self-inflicted shotgun to the chest.
No, it was a 44.
But was it a 44? Yeah. But it wasn't the weapon.
That he got his dad.
Right.
I think they just had to introduce that to make it. You know what I mean?
But when Zac Efron, Kevin jumps on top of him and chokes the shit out of him, I'm like, not good.
Right.
And they like I said, it really put him in a bad light. But there's if you listen to Jeff Jarrett's podcast, he did a couple episodes on when his father purchased the promotion from the Von Erichs.
Right.
They were bad business people all the way around.
Well, like Kevin alludes to it. He's like, I'm reading stuff that's saying I made this much money. I never made that much money.
Right. And then they would book shows and they would advertise the cards in advance, and then they'd no-show the show. So now you're left with like Gentleman Chris Adams and fucking S.D. Jones as your main event when it was supposed to be Kevin or Carrie.
Yeah.
After they sold the territory because their heart just wasn't in it at that point.
Well, yeah, it wasn't the family business anymore. Right. So overall, great move. I thought, listen, Zac Efron deserves an award for what he transformed himself into. I forgot for a little while that Kevin wrestled barefoot.
Yes, he was the one oddball.
Yeah. And I thought the guy, even though he was a little over the top, that played Flair, did him justice.
He had the aura, the
craziness and the size.
I thought they casted Harley Race very well.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Yeah.
And the Freebirds, Terry Gordy. If you've never seen the Freebirds wrestle, but you saw a quick picture of Terry Gordy. The dude looked just like him. He was a monster just like him.
Yeah, Chavo Guerrero was the guy that was the stunt coordinator and everything for the movie.
He taught them how to wrestle. So
yeah.
Those were some pretty mean drop kicks.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
It was.
It was like, oh God,
sad.
Another thing here.
Right.
And I called you I texted you. I was like, dude, you might not be prepared for this.
Well, I knew
you're like, why is it that bad? I was like, no, just all the things we've gone through in the last
couple weeks.
When
the one nice
when
part,
Kerry at the very end.
Yes.
When he jumps up and he's got both of his legs again.
And
that whole, from there on, you might as well just go get yourself something to go wipe your eyes.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. That was great.
Yeah.
And he met so you're my older brother, Jack.
Yeah.
And he's a little tiny kid. It was awesome.
Yep.
So I think it was a good way to put positive on negative at that point. Yeah. They were free of their demons and they were together. And that was
but think of the one that's left.
Yeah.
And that was sad where he's there with his kid and he goes, I'm not a brother anymore.
We're your brothers.
Yeah.
It's all, and it's, like I said, it's good to see that Kevin has broken that family curse.
So where did you watch it? On Prime?
No, I had to buy it.
I bought it.
Yeah, $20. On Prime. I had to buy it on Prime, yeah.
But I was like, you know what? You go to the movies, it's $15 now. So that's just for the ticket. That's not popcorn, wherever I go, whatever. I got it forever now.
Right. And so before we hop into top 5, big ups, congratulations to our boy, the Yankee.
Oh, yeah, the New York Yankee, Joey Vigilante.
TKO, third round.
Dude spit his mouthpiece. I want to know more.
Yeah.
In the redneck brawl. So, he messaged me a few times before the fight, and I'm like, bro, keep that chin tucked.
Yeah, he texted me the link, the video for the press conference when he shoved the guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, there he is, stirring the shit. I love it.
Yeah, that's how he always was, though.
Absolutely, he hasn't changed.
Yeah. Fuck him up, coach.
That's
Fuck
right.
him up.
And when he gets back, if we can catch up with him, it'd be cool to have him in, tell us.
Yeah.
Interview him and get that experience.
The announcer last night, I watched a little bit of...
Well, Catfish Cooley was one of the announcers, and that was awesome.
He's like, man, I ain't never seen a dude with a GMC tattoo, because Joey's got a GMC tattoo, like right here.
He said a combined weight of 182 pounds.
Yeah.
He's funny as hell. Have you seen him before?
Yeah.
So, no, good shit, man. I'm proud of him. He went out. He represented
he did it. Especially Redneck Brawl. It's all like Oklahoma, Texas, that type of shit.
Oh, straight Hill Jack Central.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Let's work into our top 5. This week's top 5. The top 5 funniest town or city names in the USA.
Yes.
In America, right?
In America, yeah.
Okay. Because I have a couple honorable mentions, but they're from out of town.
All right, shoot them.
It is Dildo, Newfoundland.
Get the fuck out of here.
And I think, so I put a little caveat on mine. I kind of named why the town was named that way.
Yeah.
So for Dildo, Newfoundland, it was the first guy that told a woman to go fuck herself. His last name was Dildo, and they probably go, yep.
This is his town.
This is his town. And the other one is Middle Fart, Denmark.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Middle Fart, Denmark.
That's awesome. I could live there.
Yeah.
I could end fart, beginning fart, middle fart, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, number 5, Booger Hole, West Virginia.
Booger Hole?
Booger Hole.
Okay.
Background on that was they thought the town had a boogeyman, and because there was random murders and shit being committed in the town. So boogeyman somehow got morphed into Booger Hole, and it's Booger Hole, West Virginia.
Well, they throw bars on there. And
yeah. There should have been like Inbred Kentucky.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty funny. All right, my number 5, Monkey's Eyebrow, Kentucky.
I did come across that.
So I think this one was the first girl to ever shave her bush. That monkey's got an eyebrow. It's the monkey's eyebrow. That's my number 5.
That's awesome. My number 4.
It's probably the first girl to have the racing stripe.
That could be.
The monkey's got the eyebrow
to it.
Yeah. She clipped it.
She clipped it bad, yeah. Number 4, 8 miles south of Killeen, Texas. It is Ding Dong, Texas.
Ding Dong, Texas.
And it was a joke. It was a pair of brothers had an automotive store.
Yeah.
And they painted Ding Dong on the sign underneath their names, the name of the store, and it just became
Ding Dong, Texas.
Ding Dong, Texas.
All right, my number 4, Hot Coffee, Mississippi.
I could deal with that.
I pretty much think that's probably like one of them they're the only town that has electric. Yeah. I got hot coffee over there in Hot Coffee, Mississippi. That's it. That's the only place you get hot coffee. Everything else was just warm on a fucking fire or out in the heat.
That's it. Watered down shit.
Yeah.
Number 3, this was because of the government taxing their mining industry. Rough and Ready, California.
I've read that one. I didn't go on my list, but yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's how it originated.
Don't fuck with us.
Yeah.
We're rough and ready. Stop taking our money.
Yep. My number 3, Hell, Michigan. I think they're just mundane jobs and shitty weather.
Yeah, well, Detroit is probably right next to hell. Yeah. So, yeah. My number 2 is a place I could definitely live in.
Hold on. I didn't mean to cut you. I wonder if, like, from Detroit, you got to go to hell and back.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yep.
It's probably some version of that.
It's just past 8 Mile.
Yeah.
My number 2, I could definitely reside here. Slick Poo, Idaho.
Any idea how it got originated?
No, that one didn't. I didn't find a thing on that. But I could be in Slick Poo, Sticky Poo.
Yeah.
You name it.
Stinky Poo.
Stinky Poo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fast Poo.
Very fast poo.
Right.
There should be a boot drop New York.
There should be. My number 2, Booger Hollow, California. And I think every Friday night has a demolition derby, figure 8 racing, and cockfighting.
All on the same track.
All at the same location.
Cockfighting goes on in the center of the track.
At Booger Hollow, California.
Nice. My number 1, Blue Ball, Pennsylvania.
Your number 1 ties into my number 1.
My
My number 1 is, in succession, these towns come across Paradise, Bird in Hand, Intercourse, Blue Ball, and Climax, Pennsylvania.
I know. There's some horny motherfuckers down in PA.
So you're going to Paradise with your bird in your hand to have intercourse to get rid of your blue balls with a Climax.
That's it. Somebody told a story with town names. That and a Blue Ball was based on a hotel in the town. I'm not sure how the rest of them got all their shit.
I'm sure just people being idiots. Bird in Hand?
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I don't know, Paradise, Climax.
Should have been, if there's the town that originated the gangbang would have been 2 in the Bush.
Yeah.
So. No, we got some weird places in this country.
So, what made you come up with that top 5?
What the hell was it?
Did you see a funny name?
I did. I saw a funny name, and I was like, you know what? That's probably not a bad idea. Let's see how many there are. And
there's so many.
Hundreds.
Yeah. It was just a matter of picking out your favorites. So, like I said, the way I did it is I just came up with a little goofy story with each one.
Yeah. Hell, there are a bunch of hells around. Boring. I saw
Boring, yeah.
But, yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Pretty quick, easy top 5.
Yeah, and imagine living in these towns.
No,
so I almost wanted. I was going to take Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, because that was the home of Cactus Jack.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like,
I wonder where From Parts Unknown are.
Right, where on the calendar or on the calendar? Where on the map is Parts Unknown?
Parts Unknown, Arizona,
probably.
Death Valley, Georgia, right?
Yep. Oh, they did mention Hellwig.
Oh, yeah.
Warrior. Did you hear him in the movie?
No.
He says to Carrie at one point, he says, yeah. Oh, no, he says it to Carrie when they came home for Christmas. He's like, when are you getting your shot at the big title? You're way better than your former tag team partner, Hellwig, because he was the champ at the time. The Ultimate Warrior was the champ.
In WWE?
In WWE, yep.
Oh, yeah, because SummerSlam 89 or whatever.
That was the year, yep.
Cool. All right, let's move along. All right, this week's top 5 brought to you by Winnie.
And our video brought to you by
Moranti Oil and Plumbing.
There we go.
Yeah, how'd you know? I just put it all up.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good timing.
Yeah.
Number 1, if animals could talk, which species do you think would be as my phone goes down, would be the most interesting conversationalist?
Oh, man. Most interesting?
I'm picturing something with a British accent by far.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, though. Like, if a bird, because no matter what birds see on a day.
Because they can go so many places.
They can go so many places, sitting on a wire, just shit. Hey, buddy, watch. I'm going to shit on this car. 10 points for the windshield. Right?
They're definitely the shit stirrers.
Right? Like that. I don't know, though. Like, it'd have to be something that observes humans.
Like a sloth.
Like, a lot.
Right. Like a sloth or something that just hang around and sit and observe could probably tell a hell of a story as well.
Yeah. But I think like bird, like you got to figure there's always birds around humans.
There are.
So like they're just sitting around, just probably laughing their ass off, talking shit, and then being idiots, like shitting on cars, whatever. I'm gonna get to this lady won't shut up, Karen.
they could actually do a lot if they could talk and understand us.
Right.
We could really get together. And hey,
like I'd say dogs, but dogs are home all day.
This guy fucked me over. Go tattoo his car for me.
Right. Like that's why I don't say a dog, because a dog is like it's your pet. It hangs out at your house. It's not like it's got freedom to go fly like 3 towns over and shit on somebody's car for you.
Do you have any idea how many times a day my owner masturbates?
Or if it's the dog of like a hoe bag. How many men you got in here tonight?
I hate peanut butter. Stop giving me peanut butter.
I don't want to lick that off of there. Sal, I don't want to lick that off of there, Sal. I'm a guy dog, right, Sal?
Yeah, that's why I got it.
Yeah.
Number 2, if you could erase one invention from history, which one would it be and why?
This is going to be very unpopular, especially with what we have now.
Okay.
Probably the internet. I think once that started, it unraveled man in other ways. Like creativity. For a period of time, creativity bounced up, things bounced up.
Right.
But I think it impeded the growth of man in other ways. You went from, like, think about it. Telephone was tethered to the wall. Now you're tethered to it. Like a cell phone. Like the internet, it all kind of ties together.
True. It's kind of reversed.
You know what I mean? Like, people don't leave their houses now. You left your house and you had all these hobbies and experiences and things because you didn't want to sit in the house all day. There wasn't internet to fuss around.
Right.
How many times you just sit on your phone and because of the internet you're watching mindlessly for hours and hours, where in years past you would have been putting together a card collection or painting birdhouses or
because I'm in it for the value.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a dirtbag. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like something like that. As much as it's part of our life now, think about what it's taken from.
Case in point.
What it's given to you, but what it's taken from.
Right. Last night I got home and I did my laundry and I'm folding it, getting ready to put it all away. And I'm like, oh shit, I wanted to check what streaming service had the movie.
Right.
Couldn't find my phone. For like 45 minutes. It was sheer panic. And it's like, that's what this has created.
Right. Where'd you end up finding it?
In the bed. It was like in the fold of the covers.
Yeah.
But
you see what I mean? You get tied right to it.
Like, it's like it's everything.
You've stopped living as a human, and you kind of gone backwards because you're tied to that phone at all times.
Right.
Like, if somebody didn't get a hold of you, they just didn't get a hold of you in the years back before.
But other than like Rob's parents, who buys encyclopedias anymore?
Yeah, well, he had to because Robin sold to the guy.
Yeah. But seriously, like, when's the last time you think they've updated or even put out a new set of encyclopedias? What's the point at this point?
Well,
we needed them in the past.
Right. Think about somebody trying to research, like I said, as much as it's helped, it's also hindered.
I definitely, in high school, early on, used, my grandparents had a great set of encyclopedias at home. We used them for reports and stuff all the time. Now,
you learned how to find information.
Right. The Dewey Decimal System, the library.
Right. Now it's just instantaneous.
Right. It's all right there.
Which then leads to AI, which then leads to us being taken over by computers.
Right. You've seen the AI robots that they've taught to fight.
Here's the thing. You don't think about it, right? Like, we've had this conversation on this podcast a few times. When you're in the now, you don't tend to like realize what you're in. And we might not be alive for it, but maybe we're living in the era when society changed for the worst ever.
Right.
Like, we're in the beginning stages of AI and everything taking over.
Right.
And they're probably, we might be looked at in history by future humans going, why didn't they stop that? Why would they create that?
Yeah.
And it all started with an internet that then went to a phone that then went, like the iPhone. Like, I mean, people had their Blackberries, but the iPhone was like the first thing you could go on internet with.
Right, consistently,
and FaceTime,
easily.
Right, yeah. And from then on, it's just been downhill.
All right, number 3. If you could know the absolute and total truth to one question, what would you ask?
Oh, man. Who killed JFK?
That was in my head. I was totally thinking that, like, how would I phrase the question? But yeah, who killed JFK?
Like, who killed JFK? Did OJ do it? Like, was there more than one person?
Right. I think we all know the OJ answer.
But it would have to be something of that version. You know what I mean? Like, something that everybody thinks they know, but you really just don't know.
Right. Are there aliens?
Did we walk on the moon?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, but you got to limit to one?
One.
Yeah.
The JFK is probably, I bet you that would be one of the most popular answers.
I wouldn't want to know it because I believe that there's life after death. But if you knew there wasn't, tell me that you wouldn't change the way you
It would absolutely change.
Substantially.
Right. 100%. Right. I agree. Number 4, number 4. If you could eliminate one human emotion, which one would it be and why?
I don't know. I want to say fear in so many ways, but fear stops you from doing a lot of things, but it also helps you conquer
there's
a lot of things. You know what I mean? Anxiety. Because anxiety really is just the choice between, I mean, the way I see it is it's the unknown, right? You're like anxious over something that may never happen, but it may. And so you're just it's between two emotions of good and bad.
Right, and I'm one of those that takes a medication for it.
Right. It's like, it could be good.
I just this might be bad. Yeah.
Because anxiety could be either way.
How much different my life would have been in many instances if I didn't have anxiety like I have.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely. That's a really good one. Number 5, would you rather have the ability to read minds but be unable to speak, or speak all languages fluently but never to keep a secret?
I pride myself on keeping shit when people come talk to me.
So you're going with the first one?
But never being able to speak.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Well, could I write it?
yeah, technically you could.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so then it would be the first one.
Okay.
Because if you read somebody's mind and you know, hey, this guy's going to do something bad, there's ways to indicate to you without speaking that, hey, that fucking guy is about to do something bad. We got to take care of it.
Stop it.
Right.
Okay. All right. Cool.
It would be awesome to know a lot of languages, though.
It would be cool.
You know what I mean? Just to walk by and hear somebody say, hey. What the
Bonus question. Other than Spanish, because I'm assuming you took it in high school, what foreign language would you like to learn?
Mandarin.
Now, I'm seeing this fluent Mandarin.
Yeah.
Because I saw a video.
French, I have no desire.
He was on Logan Paul's podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Cena, and Logan Paul asked him, like, how did you learn Mandarin? And this is something that you don't know. If you're an employee with WWE, they will pay for you to get secondary education and to learn a language. So he took advantage of it. Yep. And he started taking.
When do you have time for?
That's what they asked him. He said, when I was home, I went out and hired somebody that would come to the house. So once a week, he was having somebody come to the house, and they were doing Mandarin lessons like that.
Oh, that's cool. But I'm just saying, secondary education.
Yeah, you'd have to do online, I'm sure.
Yeah, like when the hell would you do that?
Yeah.
All right, let's move along. This week's bonus segment, Crime and Punishment, the Winter Season Edition.
Yes, it is. And I will gladly start us off.
All right, you start us off.
Number 1, people who clean out only a little spot on their windshield and rear window to be able to see, to drive.
We've all done it, but when
you're consistently doing it, yes.
Right.
You're going to use a scraper that they clearly don't use.
Yeah.
On their shins,
Ooh.
and then throw ice melt on the open wounds.
That is brutal.
You will start
cleaning your car the right way.
Yes.
All right, my number one, not cleaning the snow off your car properly. You know, like when it's all over the roof and as you're driving behind them, big chunks are coming off.
Blasted by frozen shit.
Yeah, frozen stuff coming off. It's dangerous.
Do you remember when that happened to me on the thruway and it shattered my windshield?
Yep, I do remember that.
Scumbags.
All right, so that's the crime. Punishment, you are tied to a shopping cart on the coldest day of winter and dragged through the automatic car wash naked.
Oh,
so you got all them bristles whipping you and smacking you and all that cold-ass water hitting you.
That's good.
And at the end, yeah.
And then that air
hitting
you
when you come out the other end and it's just like 14 below zero and you're soaking wet after you just got the shit whipped out of you by them brushes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Number 2, municipal plow trucks. And I'll say, listen, some areas are very good, Buffalo being one of them. Kingston, terrible.
Yep.
Every one they plow in gets one ice ball to throw at them as they run back and forth naked like that carnival game.
They go like the duck,
and then
you just get an ice ball of fire.
Yeah. The whole city of Kingston's everybody's getting one ice ball.
Yeah,
and this dude just
per person.
Right.
Yeah, not like one per house.
One per person.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be brutal for them. All right, my number 2. Walking into a restaurant in full ski clothes hours after you've left the mountain.
Oh, that's on my list. Go ahead.
Okay.
What's your punishment?
My punishment, Tommy DeSico picks you up with his backhoe and dumps you in the hot tar. Fuck you and your outfit. If you're cold, you're hot now, and go fuck yourself with your ski loop.
All right, so I'll piggyback off of yours. Punishment's going to be hiding in snow camo on the trail and then absolutely waffling as they fucking drive by with a fucking snowboard.
Just doing.
Yeah, their top speed going down the fucking 4 Diamond Trail, and they take that fucker right to the kisser.
Go ahead, number 3.
All right. Well, that was my number 3.
Oh, that was your number 3? My number 3. People that like the extra hour of sleep when the clocks go back, which is kind of wintry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Fuck that, because it's always dark and cold, right?
It is.
Fuck that, right? So the punishment, you're dragged out of bed daily by Gravedigger, the monster truck, 2 hours early. You're just sleeping. It's like 3 a.m. And he yanks you right out.
There's somebody going down the stairs, pulling every spindle all the way down, like toothpicks.
Everything.
That's awesome.
Through the front door, you look like a cartoon.
Is it a chain?
Chain, tow rope, anything. Just rips you right the fuck out of the bed.
All right.
Yo, fuck you. You want this extra hour of sleep? No, you don't get it.
There you go. Number 4, people that run out for all the bread, eggs, toilet paper, and bottled water for that 1 to 3 inch blizzard.
Yeah.
2-liter bottle of Coke, an entire roll of Mentos into the Coke, and then the bottle's jammed up their ass.
Oh, it's coming out their ears, their nostrils, everywhere else.
Yeah, but it's not necessary to buy 13 loaves of bread, 4 gallons of milk, 5 cases of water for dusting to an inch.
Right. Get.
But it happens all the time.
Get some pasta or some, what are them? Them fucking little noodles that.
Or how about learn to fucking drive in a dusting? Come on.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's
not that bad. All right, my number 4. People who complain about how dry their skin is due to winter, but never put lotion on.
Right.
They just want to complain, oh, my skin's so dry.
You look like you've been kicking fucking volcanoes.
Yeah.
Covered in ash.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, Vaseline intensive care lotion's $1.99.
Right.
Come on.
So the punishment, you zip them with a belt sander.
Oh.
And then you towel them off with rubbing alcohol-soaked towels.
Oh.
Fastest way to know you got a cut is put rubbing alcohol on. But
they might like the belt sander part.
Listen,
itch that dry skin,
but not when it's raw.
No,
you know what I mean. Like, listen, we all get dry skin. We all bitch about it, but you also go, hey, do you got any hand lotion that I can put on? It's not that big of a deal.
Carly buys the CeraVe. It's expensive,
but
it's good. And she showed me, I was using the regular Vaseline intensive care.
Mm-hmm.
One of the chemicals in it's alcohol.
Yeah, so it's
drying you out. The more you use it, the worse it makes it.
You need some with aloe in it.
It has to be really moisturizing. So, my number 5, people who only half-ass shovel a path to their car and never fully clear their sidewalks or driveway. We know those people.
Sure do.
Homemade explosives strategically placed in the unshoveled areas that blow up and cover them in dog shit when triggered.
It's just so it's not really an explosive as much as it's just spraying dog shit.
Right. So you can run dental floss through the snow. Right. You're not going to see it.
Right.
They're going to trip it.
Yep.
And then
just dog shit all over it.
Yep. You will shovel your fucking driveway next time.
Yeah. And my number 5, adults who get giddy over possible snow days. And they usually work for a school district where every other human's got to go to work.
Right.
And they're like, ooh, we might get off tomorrow. We think it's going to be a 2-hour delay. They get run over by a snowmobile naked with fully fucking tracked, like fully studded tracks. They're just running. And once they go down, you just burn out right over their backs.
Is Duke driving a snowmobile too? All right, cool.
Yeah, I had to get Duke involved.
He has to be involved. Brought to you by Duke's Towing.
Brought to you by Seco Paving.
Yeah, who Duke's Towing bailed me out today. So, yeah. I love that skit.
It is fun because you get, you get your brain working on how to punish people for doing asshole things.
And how many asshole things there are. The ski shit had me dying because I'm thinking everybody, it's the other one is the first time skier that is head to toe in fucking spider, like they just fell out of Potter Brothers.
Right. They don't know shit. They fall down all the time, but they look the part.
Yeah.
Posers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Time for your favorite song. This week's Over and Under brought to you by the law offices Brian Duran. 339-4313.
And $100 off if you mention the Outlaw Blitz podcast.
Correct.
All right. Number 1, ketchup on eggs.
Underrated.
Okay.
Underrated if it's a scrambled egg sandwich or if it's a bacon, egg, and cheese with salt, pepper, and ketchup.
Yes.
Other than that, fuck off.
So if you just had a plate of scrambled eggs.
Nope.
Okay. Me neither. As a kid, I used to, but I totally grew out of that.
I will say this. If eggs cool off, I'll put ketchup on them.
Okay.
Like if I don't need eggs, like if there were scrambled eggs, you get a phone call, you come back, and now they're not hot anymore, I'll put ketchup on them.
All right. Is it something with the temperature and the
temperature and texture?
All right. Number 2, marshmallow fluff.
As much as I like it, overrated because I don't just buy it. I won't just buy it to buy it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But, like, is it good? Like, will I take spoonfuls of it? Sure. But
like, Fluffernutters are great, but I'm with you. I don't ever buy it. So the only times it's ever been purchased is if it's been an ingredient in a recipe for, like, baking or something. But other than that, yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Number 3, boneless chicken wings.
Overrated.
Number 1, there's no such thing. Right. Boneless chicken.
Right. It's like a chicken nugget or it's chicken breast that it's not boneless. Like, explain to me what meat that is.
Right. You can't.
Right.
Because you don't know. It's not a fucking wing. That's for sure.
No, it's not. But at the same time, I've never seen chicken with a leg that big either.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're eating chicks.
They're shaped like boots.
Yeah.
Like McDonald's chicken nuggets.
Yeah, yeah. Overrated. Chicken wings are meant to be eaten with the bone in them.
Agreed. Or just call them what they are. Chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Number 4, brand name cooler cups. So I'm talking Yeti, Stanley. Because the Stanley Cup is what made me think of this.
Here's what I will say. I will say, and it doesn't matter if it's a cooler or a cooler cup.
Yeah. In
situations, you're going to be out on a boat for a couple days and you're not really going on shore. You're going camping for a while. You know what I mean? Like thermos. Thermos is probably like the biggest one ever, right?
Right.
Because people took their thermos to work.
Right.
And the reason was because their coffee would stay hot all day.
Right.
Right?
But it was thermos because that was the brand.
Underrated.
Right.
To buy them just to have them when you're going to drink your fucking coffee out of it, my little styrofoam cup keeps it as warm on my ride to work as your fucking Stanley does on its ride to work. If it's not going to be for like a long duration, overrated. You're spending tons of money. You see these people on TikTok that have a whole like collections of Yeti cups, thousands of dollars just in the cabinet. Like why? If it's so good, you only need one cup.
Well, they're investing for later.
Yeah. Dirt bag. But you know what I mean? if it's that good of a cup, you need one cup.
Right. I bought years ago, and I've had a few of them over time. The Walmart store brand version of the Yeti cup is $9, not $50.
Right.
And it is just as good, if not better.
Right.
For the same price.
Yeah. Now, like I said,
but you got kids going to school getting beat up
for
their Stanley Cups.
Yeah, it makes no sense. No sense.
No, it's a craze that will die down, and it makes no sense because there are Stanley Cups that are selling for $200 and $300. It's still a cup.
Right. Now, like if you go tent camping and you don't have electric, I get it. Right. You want the best cooler is going to keep your stuff cold for X amount of days.
I'm still going with Thermos or Igloo.
But I'm saying
the originals.
It's still. I understand spending the money and having something better
for that.
Right. But just in general, to have them, way fucking overrated.
Yeah, I'll go to Five Below and buy one of them big ass insulated cups that we gave away for $5.
Yeah.
Over $100 Stanley Cup. Come on.
Yep.
Where am I here? Number 5. I don't like them, but you may. Heated seats.
Love them. Underrated.
Okay.
So when the car is not quite, when the heat's not quite warmed up yet, the car's not warmed up yet, but you have to go somewhere, that heated seat keeps you at least warm enough on cold days to get you through to the heat kicking in.
All right. And I'll go on one more. Number 6, zero gravity chairs.
Underrated. It's hard for big asses like us to get in them, but when you get in those things, it really takes like the pressure off like your hips, your knees.
Yep.
You can kind of sit in them, and they don't just they kind of go like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like a better version of a hammock almost.
Almost. Yeah, and very very comfortable. Very comfortable. Like that's the kind of chair you want to be in. Like if you're out camping, you're at a ball game, you can just kind of kick and relax. That's the kind of chair I want to be in.
All right. There's Over Under, brought to you by the law offices of Brian Duran.
100%. $100 off. Use our thing. He does specialize in bankruptcies.
Okay.
So if you're facing hard times, mention the Outlaw Blitz, you get $100 off.
Hard times, daddy.
Hard times. All right, let's move on to the rabbit hole. What videos dragged us down the TikTok, YouTube, and Reels hole this week?
All right, I'll start off. I can't remember the guy's name on YouTube. He does a lot of sports athletes, lesser known, and I found myself watching it was about a half hour long on Harold Miner, Baby Jordan.
Holy moly.
Yeah, and how sad it was. He was out of league at 25 with a degenerative knee condition. And coming out of USC, he was going to be the next big thing. He averaged career averages in college for like 28 points a game, had ups, had a decent jump shot, got to the NBA, had a couple decent seasons with the Heat. The knees kicked in, and by 25, he was done. To the point, and it soured him so much that he stopped watching the game completely. And it took having a child and his son got him back into watching the game and then slowly back into coaching. And he's doing great now. But Baby Jordan was going to be the next big thing. Yeah,
people forget, like, when you're so dedicated to something for so long and then it's taken away from you in a way.
Right.
You almost can't watch it. You forget your love for it because you got this pain that's associated with it.
Right, and the other thing, too, is he was diagnosed as a kid with obsessive-compulsive disorder. So to get to the point that he got to, he used his OCD to benefit him. And then that hurt him later on because he couldn't stop thinking about...
He didn't know how to shut it off.
He didn't know how to shut it off, right.
Yeah. One of the first things I watched this week, it was on TikTok, a guy named Jose Roberto. And he does acoustic guitar covers of famous songs. And, like, shit you would never think that would be awesome is awesome.
As acoustic?
Yeah, as acoustic. He just sits there. It's just this little Spanish guy, and he just wails away.
Is he a street musician, or does he do it in his house? Or?
It seems like he's just doing it, like, it looks like he just has a stand.
Yeah.
and then a guitar, and he just sits there and plays with the microphone, like, this close to the guitar, and he just plays.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's stuff that has like drums in it and everything, and it's that good.
Damn.
And no singing, just the song.
Wow.
But he did Thriller. It was amazing.
And you knew exactly what it was.
Instantly.
That's awesome.
Definitely check him out. Jose Roberto.
I watched LA Beast. He's had videos on for years now. He does crazy, weird shit, challenges and whatnot. And he got the world, and I think this is something I want to see if I can find it and get it. We'll try it here. The world's most sour soda.
Okay.
He put a 6-pack in this thing, and he somehow had it rigged up to a leaf blower and was able to down the 6-pack in 15, 20 seconds.
What?
And then,
how do you not throw up everywhere?
Well, and then when he was done, you could tell the pain of the
gases in you.
And the sourness of it all. He was ready to die. But there was the one thing he did where he had to go to the hospital right away. Hot ice. It's like a liquid. And you put he put his hand in it. And as soon as you put anything in it, it crystallizes. So you see him put his hand in, and you see all these ice crystals form around his hand. And he just yells.
He's lucky he didn't lose his hand.
Right. Lets out this blood-curdling scream. And then off to the hospital he goes. He's an idiot. I used to watch him because he would buy 20-year expired foods on eBay.
Oh yeah. We've talked about this on other shows years ago.
Yeah, he's
a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, he still does some stuff. He got into competitive eating for a while with the spicy foods.
He's the dude that ate he ate something from the 80s. A candy that's been discontinued.
Yeah, and he was drinking Ecto Cooler.
Yeah, Ecto Cooler. Yeah,
and it was now brown. It was supposed to be neon green, but it was brown when he drank it.
Second thing that dragged me down was this kid named Will Cullen. He's a handsome kid.
Oh, is it the country boy?
Yeah.
The basketball. He shoots basketball.
No. This kid, Will Cullen. He just shows up. He's got a guitar. He's all over Nashville. He just finds these smoking hot chicks. He's like,
oh, that dude. And
she's like, just tell me your favorite song and I'll take you to a comedy show.
He is a straight up panty dropper.
Oh, he sure is.
And he gets smoking hot chicks all the time.
And of course, it's in his wheelhouse because it's in Nashville. So you're like, oh, Morgan Wallen. He's like, yeah, no problem. And he starts singing.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah. Chicks are sitting there.
The amount of trim that kid must get. Yeah.
I think he's just talking about, she looks very sad today. We'll go play her. Yeah. The next thing, he's in his car.
Yeah.
So he's good though. He's talented.
No, he is a talented kid, but it's at some point find your own shit.
Or write your own.
Well, if you're a musician, write your own stuff at some point. But he is good.
He's talented.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to be said that you can grab a guitar, hear 5 seconds of a song, and then play it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's those guys. What else?
I watched Entourage shorts, a lot of Ari's rants.
Okay.
We were watching something earlier before the show came on. You're like, the stuff you can't say on TV today.
Right.
And Ari was the king of that. He's like, Lloyd was his gay assistant. He's like, I want you to be on him like you're on Zac Efron's cock. Like the shit he would say to Lloyd. He goes, you look like fucking Michelle Kwan in drag.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I can't believe you never watched Entourage.
Nah, I probably should now.
It blows my mind that you haven't. Like my son said the same thing, and now he's hooked.
Okay.
You're just hooked. It's like, it's about dudes just hanging out in Hollywood, like getting by. And then Ari is fucking hilarious. And his rants that he goes on, he's in the car and he's like, hey, Lloyd. He's like, where are you, Ari? He's like, I'm in fucking Texas. Can you? And he puts his hand out the car window. He goes, can you smell the cow shit?
That's awesome.
So it's all like shit like that. And then Ari Gold, who was played by Jeremy Piven, dated Shantos' sister.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. James Shantos' sister, Ashley.
Our
dated
first ever
Patreon. Yeah. James's sister, Ashley, dated Jeremy Piven for a while. Yeah.
That's awesome. And thanks to James and thanks J. Bruno.
Yep. Our
for
next
joining our
Patreon member. And they're both outlaws.
They are both
No
outlaws.
dirtbags.
No dirt. I'm trying to think of anything else. I get down a Molly Schuyler rabbit hole every couple of weeks. She does competitive eating.
Yeah.
She's a mom of like 3. She is all of 100 pounds. And sat down and ate like 14 pounds of barbecue.
Oof.
And she looks like a complete savage doing it. Bare hands.
Yeah, probably everywhere.
No utensils.
Yeah.
But I was like, how the fuck does somebody that small
tapeworm
but how do you? I mean, I know they drink water to stretch out their stomach.
It's got to be tapeworm, bro.
Dude,
got to be feeding a tapeworm.
How do you? And you got to keep it down. Like, how do you not get sick afterwards? That's just.
I don't know. One of your things I got.
And she must take monster shits later on.
That's great. One of your things that you watched that it's now called Momentum.
Yeah.
But they used to be called just King of JUCO.
Well, they each have their own channel, but Momentum is where they all get together.
Yeah. It was where Eric Sim finally took Bauer yard.
Yes.
I just watched that.
So check it out. There's another one that's, I don't know if it's on Eric's channel, on Bauer's channel, or on Momentum.
Or all three.
Or all three. They were calling out Sim and saying he was a cage hitter only. And Eric Sim played pro ball. He played pro ball. He didn't make the majors, but he was good enough to be.
I got to say, he was a guy that annoyed the fuck out of me in the beginning.
He grows on you.
He grew on me.
Yeah, me too.
I love when the girl softball player lit his ass up, smoked him.
Marika's so hot.
But the one that took him outside and just struck him out like.
Oh, there's a couple of them. Yeah. But the one that's on now.
And the one that threw right up and in on him.
Yeah.
And then zip.
That's become a thing now. Yeah. I was a D1 recruit challenge Sim, so he flew him out. The kid was going to Grandview, or he was a D1 recruit.
Yeah.
First pitch right behind the ear. It's like you have to throw it in your first pitch. It's just a rule now. But this video, so they kept saying he was nothing but a cage hitter, so they brought him out. They went out to the field and threw. And he got a couple hits off Bauer.
Yeah.
Bauer's cocky, but he backs it up.
Yeah, I don't know how nobody is taking that risk on that guy. But it is different. I don't care what anybody says. It is different hitting in the cage and hitting outside.
I'm sure.
Because there's moving parts outside.
Your depth perception is way different.
Right, your depth. Like, if you're pitching with that wall as your background and I'm in a cage.
Right.
Versus a 400-foot fence with cars going by on an overpass.
Yeah.
And your field of vision's a lot broader.
His shit moves a lot more outside, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
He was throwing sweepers. Disgusting.
Yeah.
He's good.
How does nobody take a flyer on that guy?
Nah, somebody posted, like, well, he'd be a great fit in pretty much anybody's rotation. And he's willing to, he wants to try to come back and do the right thing.
Right.
Listen, there are guys that don't. He hasn't done anything. He was found not guilty.
Right.
But because
it was a big setup where she said, I'm going to take this guy's money, this whole deal, right? It all came out.
But Major League Baseball, now Manfred's retiring, didn't like him because he was using social media
to fight his case instead of.
And to promote rivalry.
Right.
To get shit, to be a shit stirrer.
Right.
But it wasn't a bad thing. When Bauer pitched against a certain team, you wanted to watch because you knew.
Right. It brought eyes to the prize.
Right.
Yeah.
Why would you not want a competitor in your clubhouse? Not to mention Cleveland, he made Mike Clevenger better. He made Shane Bieber better. They went to him for advice because he trained outside the box.
Right.
Shit that other pitching coaches or baseball
that whole thing.
Where
people gave him all shit. But he went from throwing 78 to like 95.
Yeah, he topped out last year in Japan at 99.4. Right. And his average fastball in Japan was 94. There's something to be said there. And he's never had an arm injury.
Right. And he's I don't understand how they don't take him.
Right.
Mets or Yankees, we're in New York. Get the guy.
Right. Absolutely.
Either team could use a fifth starter, fourth starter, whatever.
Yeah, bring him in as a fifth, and he has the potential to be your ace.
Right.
He won a Cy Young Award.
Yeah.
So
I did watch a little bit of the Motorama races. It's the RC. It's the huge RC car race. It's this weekend. It was last weekend by the time this comes out. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there was levels to it. It was all day practice, then you got in on heats on Friday, and then the secondary races on Saturday, and all the mains are today. It's big. They have to limit it because of the amount of cars that are trying to qualify for this thing.
Damn.
So in each level.
As we sit here recording on Sunday, what's the current status with Daytona for today?
It's already at 8 a.m. or 8 or 9 a.m. this morning. They postponed it till 4 p.m. on Monday.
Oh, so it's already pushed back.
Yep. It's already been pushed back. And the Busch series is pushed back too. Or whatever they call it now.
Yeah, what was it last year?
It used to be the Busch Series. Now it's the... Yeah, I don't know. Them.
It's not Winston Cup anymore.
No.
Then it was the what? Nextel. Now it's what? What's the main series now?
Monster Energy.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, buddy, I'm good. What else you got? Anything?
I really don't have anything else outside of, support those who support us.
Yes.
That's big for us this week. Like we said, the video will be brought to you by Moranti Heating and Plumbing and Oil. I always say plumbing and heating.
Yep. And
it's not. It's plumbing and oil. But if you need a plumber, Josh does good work. We're still figuring it out. He's going to waive a service fee, I think it is. If you take a screenshot, which his logo's been up here right now for quite a bit as we're talking, you take a screenshot of our live video or a video on YouTube or wherever. If you need his services, he will waive a service fee for that. And then if you need a lawyer and you go to the law office of Brian Duran, you'll get $100 off for mentioning the Outlaw Blitz podcast.
Yes, sir.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
So now we're just looking for a top 5. We've had a feeler out for that.
Yep.
5 crazy questions. We have a feeler out for that. But if you can't do a weekly segment,
right?
We do also have like crime and punishment. We do that pretty much quarterly.
Yeah, so 4 to 6 times a year.
Right.
Depending.
So the price of that's a little different,
right? Versus
something that's every week. But we have that. We have Showdown. We do showdowns. We do about 5 or 6 of them a year.
Yep.
What other segments we got that we do periodically?
This is you covered Steel Cage Showdown, Dirtbag.
Stately Definitions.
Stately Definitions.
Dirtbag is a couple times a year. Showdown, Stately, over-unders every week.
I think we should get BGS to sponsor Dirtbag.
I mean, so there's other options.
Yeah.
Rabbit Hole sponsor. So, but any way to become involved.
Right. And I said it off air, but Jimmy, the colonel, the general thought
he's got demoted. He's a colonel now.
He felt bad about the broken arm, so he is placed an order for a new one.
Well, it's supposed to be like an I-beam, and he bent it. It looks like a J.
It's a J-beam now.
It's a J-beam now. It's Jimmy.
It's a Jimmy beam.
Jimmy Beam.
Jim Beam.
Jim Beam.
Yes.
There it is.
There it is.
A private Jim Beam.
All right, pal. If you're good. Oh, actually, no. One more thing.
Oh, Winnie's got one more thing.
By the time this airs, it will already have happened. We are going to see our buddy tonight.
Jeff Leeson.
Mr. Jeff Leeson in Woodstock, New York. The
Colony. It's the old Colony Cafe.
Where's that?
Is it
on Tinker?
What's that?
Is that on the main drag on Tinker Street?
Tinker, and then you make the right up. Once you come up to the Village Green, make that right.
Yeah.
That's like a
Rock
mile
City
out
Road?
on the right. Yeah. Rock City Road on the right-hand side, about half mile out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll have a full report for the next show.
Yeah, we might be fucking center of attention too. Who knows? We'll see how it goes.
All right.
But if you, that's a good interview.
Yes.
I wish we had all denim.
Oh, to go in Canadian tuxedos?
Canadian tuxedos would be awesome. But yeah, if that's a good interview, if you look back, Jeff Leeson, that is on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube. Funny guy. He does crowd work. We call him the Prince of Crowd Work.
Yep.
Because the king is always going to be Don Rickles.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, good time. Hopefully we have a real fun time tonight. You got anything else?
Good to go.
All right, take us home.
All right, for Gmac, this is Winnie. This has been the Outlaw Blitz podcast, and as always, take it deep.